Well, hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today on Continence Chat. This is where we are making uncomfortable conversations comfortable. And I know Deanna has a very special guest with us today. So, Deanna, would you like to introduce her?
Absolutely. Thank you, Susie. I am excited. I think this is segment number 3, which is wonderful. So I'd like to introduce everybody to one of our home medical supply store suppliers in South Florida. That's a mouthful. June McCarthy with Affordable Medical Supply. June and her husband, John, have owned their store for a number of years. And we started working with you, June, a couple of years ago. And it has been a very nice, tight relationship. I think a lot of that stems from you being very, very focused on your customers' needs. So I'm wondering, to kick things off, welcome. Thank you for being here. Susie and I and our entire team appreciate it. But can you just share a little bit about your background and then maybe take the viewers through how we connected and how that experience has been for your customers?
Well, I'd love to. First of all, thank you so much for having me. And it's really a pleasure to meet you as well, Susie. Deanna's been here multiple times, so I'm very appreciative for the education and help. We have been in business around 47 years. And through those years, of course, we've worked with all types of products. And one of those products has always been incontinence care. And incontinence health is extremely important to us. So when we were able to meet Deanna at one of the trade shows, actually, one of the care management shows, we did a beeline to their table because our clientele is many times very upfront with us. We're very close with our clients. We have a lot of private care. I would say a good portion of our business is private care. So nothing's off subject for us. It's very easy for us to talk to them. And when they're new and they're coming in for maybe equipment, it's easier for us to talk to them about also incontinence by fact finding. So that's kind of what's brought us to the success of SENI.
Yeah. And I know, June, one of the things right away that I appreciated about you is when you came to that table, you're taking me back in time. I think you had a cast on, right? I think you had some, or I'm going by memory, but you asked a ton of questions, almost in disbelief or being cautious about, okay, who is this company? What are they telling me? Is it the truth type of thing? And I really appreciate that because I always think of that as an opportunity to educate. We've got to educate home medical supply store owners for them to be able to educate their customers. But that showed me that you care. It wasn't just coming look for, we're trying to, as I always tell you, we're trying to shift mindset in this country from a disposable commodity mindset to, this stuff is critical to the continuum of care for people that are challenged with it.
Exactly. It's a really important piece that people aren't aware of. That's a very, very important piece to make sure that the incontinence care is talked about at the very beginning, because that is, as you know, UTI, the number one reason for readmissions into the hospitals. And all I have to do is ask somebody after they've maybe purchased a bed or they're in, and by any chance, is she or he incontinent at all? And I will say at all, because we care about the pads as well as an actual pull-up or product, so we can make it as discreet as we can. But when we say that, and I will add on, if they feel uncomfortable in any way, I will add on, because UTI is a big issue. And immediately I've connected that, oh my God, she had UTI last week. He had UTI. They got out of the hospital. It was a mess. It was horrible. Then they had to go to rehab, or she got septic. these things are important topics unless we can actually bring them to the forefront and let them know we're comfortable with helping you through that, which is why I ask those questions, because I want to be able, we're going to put our full sources here at Affordable into making sure that they see these products and they have a chance to use these products. So it's been our fastest growing product at Affordable for the last 2 years. And it's all because of choice. It's all because of choice. We're very much into the education. We've always been about the education. We feel that our clients are very smart and they're so used to being talked to or being sold. And we're not into that. We try to avoid any of that. We want you to know the differences and to be able to try the differences, whether it be a medical piece of equipment or the differences when it comes to incontinence care. And when you have a common ground and they say, oh my gosh, she had UTI, she gets UTI all the time. Let me share with you something. Can I share with you a story? Is that okay?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about, you're talking to the client. You threw me for a little loop there. I'm in tune here. So absolutely. Yeah.
So a male nurse who doesn't live here, but his sister lives here, and they are taking care of their parents. And they came to get a long-term care bed because, you know, they need it for caregiving. They want the very best, and they want something that does a lot of functions. And I happened to say, you know, is she incontinent at all? And he goes, yes, she is. And I said, because we really care about your skin integrity and UTI. And she is a round robin UTI. She has been in the hospital so many times with UTI that he says it's horrible. I've got to do something. And he has mandated, as a male nurse, he has many titles after his name. He mandates that he'll pay extra to make sure she's changed every 2 hours, no matter what. But it still didn't help until SENI. And that's not a sales pitch. That was him trying the product, sending up the Quattro for overnight. For the daytime, they're using the Super Plus diaper, brief.
Yeah.
They're using that during the day and using the Quattro at night. She has not had UTI. It's been over 1 year and 2 months, and he refuses any other product.
Wow.
And that is proof for us to feel more confident about what we're doing and more confident about the education that, Deanna, you constantly bring to us. And the clinical studies, which, by the way, we read them all. We read any white papers that come or any clinical studies. And I know that may be a little overboard of what people think of as a DME, but we're about the whole being. And that is such an important part because it can cause you, to digress in anything that you have, any cognitive issues you have, any in and out of a hospital, your dignity. It changes everything.
Yep. Agreed. It's like the ripple. I'm a big person who always talks about ripple effects, and ripple effects can go negative quickly, or they can go positive. And I feel like they can go positive. One of the things that I was sharing with Susie prior to our call is I loved the fact that when you and I had spoken fairly recently, you talked about choice, and actually for new potential clients, giving them an option of other brand products, and then SENI products, and how that rippled into many of your clients, not only choosing SENI, which of course, yes, we love to hear that, but I think even bigger picture, choice leading to independence. And that's something, Susie's out on the West Coast managing a team. Her teammates are out in the field, and independence is just huge, and dignity. It all just ties, you're in Florida, across the board. But maybe you could share, June, a little bit about that. And then Susie, I'd love to get your opinion too of what you're seeing when it comes to independence and choice over on the other side of the coast.
As a team who we do everything with passion here, we're so passionate about what we do. So we got to watch, because you don't want to be a salesperson. So the best thing is when you have the option in your own home, in your own privacy, to try other products when we've brought that subject up. So now we have found common ground. You're looking at us for some help, and we're looking at professional grade products. So when we do our delivery, we do a delivery and we put in that bag different products, and we only do 2 or 3. We will do 3 as well. And we mark them. We pull the cards out so they're not sure what they're getting, so that they're taking it straight from what works the best for me, not what is the price, how many come in a case. They're looking at what works the best. And fortunately, I'm telling the truth that they choose SENI. And when they get a chance to choose, when you get a chance to choose on your own, when you go to the grocery store, or when you go, and you're picking out your meat, or versus somebody handing it to you, you're trying it yourself. And when you do have your choices, you feel more confident about what we provided as well. So you have more confidence in us, your mother, father, yourself. We have many people, with the male guards, and, for themselves, that they feel confident, and they're continue to call us to purchase. They know that we're going to help them no matter what the situation. So they may have a situation where, somebody has cancer and they're on chemo, and they're not able to get them up at night as much. They don't have any cognitive issues, but they do have issues with some burns and some things like that. And we've got to be very cautious. SENI has been an outstanding product, and this comes from the heart, because these are my clients. I love them. Our whole staff loves our clients, and we know it's important that we help give them guidance and direction. Now, their choice is that they chose this product, so it makes the relationship very, very strong. It has them feel much better. I have a couple stories of a doctor. This particular physician is very stickler to do business with. His wife would question every single thing, every thread, everything in the package. She was very adamant. We knew it was going to be a very difficult person to work with, but we provided the samples. The reason I tell you this is because he was getting ready to travel, and being embarrassed on a plane is going to be extremely important. And they have not found any product, to be honest with you. They've tried everything, pretty much everything I suggested, and talked to them about. She already knew everything. She knew how much they cost, how many came in a pack, but she didn't know anything about SENI. So I told her where SENI was made, why it's different, about how the actual pull-up is actually made different. So it's closer in the front, which no other pull-up has that gathering. No other pull-up has that close to the front, close to the back. Doesn't look like you're wearing a pull-up. And she liked that. So, okay, now she opened the door. She's willing to try. This product, they were trying days before they were going to go on the plane.
Okay.
And I think I told Deanna that they put the pull-up on, and they put it on around 6 o'clock at night, and they were going to get up, they were going to take a nap, and they were going to get up, and then they were going to go ahead and change it when they got up, like 9 o'clock or so. Well, they never woke up. Neither one of them ever woke up. And in the morning, when she got up, she found it. He had taken it off. And because he doesn't have cognitive issues, he took it off and he didn't know where to put it. So he put it in a plastic bag and asked her, this is what happened. Not one leaking, nowhere, no leaking. That is way too long to have a pull up on. But they were so confident that they could travel in the plane, and
Yeah.
he didn't feel wet.
Yeah.
So it was amazing.
Yeah. That's awesome. Those are what, I mean, we hear though, for the purpose of us
Of course.
doing this show is to educate others. And I love those stories. I mean, and that all ripples out again to independence and him having his choice and his wife the choice to travel, and just keeps things, moving forward. So I love
Right.
that. So yeah. Susie, what are you thinking about? I see you smiling. I know
Well,
you always have thoughts.
I'm thinking several things. When you mentioned about people wanting independence, our teams go out into the field. I know, June, you have people coming to you at your location, but when we are out in the field doing product training or in services with medical professionals, home care agencies, or even, skilled nursing communities, I'm always shocked when I look at their faces and they say, we had no idea about incontinence products. We thought everything was the same. And so we're able to educate and encourage them in that way. But June, I can see why you've been a successful business owner for 40 years because you're creating that relationship and you're making conversation comfortable in your store where people feel they can trust you, and you're giving them options, which I think eliminates a lot of fear. So kudos to you and the amazing work that you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm always amazed, June, how I always say, the saying, what is it? Jack of all trades, master of none. But I think you're a jack of all trades and master of all. Like for us, right? And Susie will probably agree with this. We have a SKU of products. And so we know our products inside and out. But that's when I go into your store, which, as you stated, I've been several times. You've got a big store. You've got, I don't know how many items, but about each and every one. I mean, you're like a walking encyclopedia.
I think it's just years of being, years of being in business and understanding that when you come to a certain point, and that's why they call it an accident, when somebody has an accident and they've never been incontinent before, but now you've fallen and now you've broken your leg, and they could be in their 50s. They weren't incontinent, but now you lose your dignity when you're in the hospital with your femur broken, and now they have to use a brief on you. And we are actually delivering to the families who take them to the hospitals because the hospital won't supply that. And they're not going to have, once they know us, they're not going to have any issues with their skin as well. So that is extremely important. It matters. It really does matter. And it's a shame if somebody can't find the way to open up that door to ask. My suggestion would be just ask, are they by chance incontinent? And if not, and they say, well, not really, say, oh, well, the reason why I'm asking is, and I tell them that we have all the medical grade products. We can help you. And the one thing that excites us, believe it or not, is I get excited when we're able to talk to a man about the pads. You have the only pad that we've got a phone call from one of our clients that said, June, do you by any chance have this SENI? And I go, SENI? Yeah, when I was in Paris, it was the only product that I could get. And I love it. And I said, are you sure it's not called SENI? He said, yeah, maybe it's SENI. And so he said, it's a pad for men, but I can put all myself in there and I feel confident when I'm wearing it. Can you get it? I said, I have them in stock right now. Come on over, Doug. I've got them in stock. He couldn't believe it. So here he didn't even hear from us. We didn't even know, but he got them while he was in Paris.
Yeah. We're a global global company. So they are out there. And I think you're probably referring to the SENI Man Fit Guard, which is our unique, great product too, for people that have prostate cancer surgery. And sometimes, unfortunately, hopefully just for a little period of time, sometimes longer, but they become incontinent. So that's awesome. That's not a story that you had shared with me prior. So that's,
yeah, well, it's, who gets excited about male guards? I mean, truly, this male guard we actually get excited about because we can show it to them without embarrassment, and you get both types in the sample. So it's like, you may not want this one, but look, you can, and explain, and we show them, we open it up and show them, and it's just like, so try it, see if you like it, tell me if you like it, because if not, I want to hear that too. Problem is, we don't hear that.
Wow, that's awesome.
So we offer the negative as well.
Yep. And I know too, I think it's important. I want people to know too, that you do a lot of community outreach. And I think that ties back to what you talked about, your compassion and knowing your customers. And you said it yourself, loving your customers, but kudos again. I know you're well connected with the caregivers in the area, the different home health and home care and so forth. Can you maybe share, June? I want people to know who are in South Florida, in your neck of the woods, where you are and how they can locate you the easiest. We'll put it up on the screen afterwards, but how do they reach you?
Well, they can, of course, we are located in a suburb of Broward County. People know Fort Lauderdale very well, but we're on the west side of Fort Lauderdale in a town called Tamarack. And we're right across the street from a hospital. And so they're on a main thoroughfare on University Drive. We have a large store, or they can call us on the phone. We have live answering. We don't have any answering service. They know us very well. They'll get in touch with us. They're extremely personable. I could not say enough good things about them. And that in itself is important, so that when somebody does have the courage to call to ask something that we have marketed, I want them to feel welcome by whoever answers the phone. So doesn't matter. We have male, we have Spanish speaking, we have females, and everybody that's been here has worked for us 16 years or longer. So we are ready to help. We do business all over the United States. So we do business with SENI all over. But our geographical area is mostly Palm Beach County and Broward County for hands-on. And that includes facilities, memory care, and we were happy, very happy to introduce SENI to our Alzheimer's dementia program. And due to the high outreach of that and providing samples to every one of those clients in all the different divisions of the Alzheimer's disease, we have increased our SENI. I mean, we were just doing numbers yesterday. So a lot. We have increased it double.
Yeah, I've seen them. That's awesome. Yeah. And your store can get me into trouble a little bit, June, because I know you also have unique gifts. So I have to be careful how often I come there, because I'm always, I know we talk business and then I'm like, let me just take a peek around here.
Yeah. Well, it's not always about the beneficiary, the patient, if you will. It's about the caregiver and what they have to face. And being a caregiver myself for many years, and Paula being a caregiver, Brian being a caregiver, we know to find out, how are you doing? Because nobody usually asks how the caregiver's doing. And so many of the things we have in our store are to help lighten up their day. We want to make this the easiest part of their day, to come in and see us. And Brian's, message when anybody leaves is, I'm going to make this the easiest part of your day, and call me at any time. And so that's the reason why we do that. It's hard when you go to the grocery and you see the same people all the time and they keep asking how your loved one is. How is, I'll say, Jim? How is Jim? How is Jim? And you want to say to yourself, Jim's doing great. I'm not doing so hot. So now when people come in and we hear about their stories, we want to ask eye to eye, face to face, how are you doing? How are you doing? And it's amazing because they usually start to cry, or they've not had anybody who has, helped them. And it's just allowed us to let them know we're here no matter what. So that's how I think that it's grown so much, because it's true to who we are. It's not a fake, it's who we are.
Yeah. And it resonates. It definitely resonates. Yeah. And that's got to be fulfilling too. Like you smile,
Yeah.
I see you in person. Do you smile? And I've been there when customers have come in.
Yeah.
And so kudos.
I think we get more.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Susie, do you have closing thoughts for June, or anything additional you want to add?
I do. I'm seeing, June, you're not just providing products, but you are providing courage for your customers to come, to have that conversation, to look at their options, to have a choice. But then you're also providing comfort and compassion. And I don't think you can put a price tag on that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So
I think
true.
that it just is who we are. And I really appreciate the words, because we all need encouragement.
Yeah. It's
We all do.
yeah. So keep doing what you're doing. Please give our best to John, and hopefully I will see you soon, my friend, in person. But
I hope so.
thanks a million, and kudos. And I hope you go look in the mirror right now and say, I'm doggone good. I'm helping people.
You guys are funny. Thank you so much, Susie. It's a pleasure. It's such a pleasure. And if there's anything else I can do, let me know.
Super. Thanks,
I
June.
appreciate it. Thank you, SENI. Thank
Thanks.
you, Deanna. Thank you, Susie.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.